Yes, well, Poppy, you and I probably couldn't run around the block anymore, mate, but our next guest, Daniel Canala.
Speak for yourself. I can run around the block.
I've seen you run. You cannot run around the block.
True.
Daniel, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Triathlon, dual athlon, cross country, track and field. You're not a well man. You need to sort yourself out.
Have a rest.
Yeah. I mean, that's a lot. And read through your resume here, second in the world in some things, on the podium with others, and wide variety, and you're good at all of them. Is it tough to try and work out which direction you're going to go?
Yeah, that's one of the decisions I probably need to make in the next couple of years, is if I want to go down just running or keeping with triathlon, or even duathlon's quite big in Europe, so that can be a sole sport as well. So yeah, just trying to work it all out and figure out what I'm best at, but for now just trying to manage it all.
Daniel's trainer or coach is Adam Didak, who's the coach of Jess Trengove, one of a group of talented young adults that he manages. What's Adam's feeling, Daniel, on where you might end up?
Adam has mentioned that marathon could be something down the track, because I've got the endurance from triathlon, and I think he's seen something in me that maybe I could be a bit of a project like Jess Trengove.
He's been pretty good. He's been pretty spot on the last few years too.
Yeah, he's picked up on quite a few good athletes. So, and he was the middle and long distance coach at the Olympics. So yeah, he knows what he's doing, and yeah, I'm really enjoying his coaching methods at the moment.
Is there one that you like? I mean, we talk about the triathlon, so you've got the cycling, the swimming, and the running. Is there? We're talking off here before, and swimming's not your favourite one.
Yeah, I hate swimming.
Yeah,
could you swim my name? Popple's
straight to the bottom.
I truly am.
Do you find the swimming hardest for you? Like when you go out to run, you enjoy it. There's more to it. Suddenly, I've got a swim. It's like, oh, not another swim session.
Yeah, swimming's probably the hardest to train for personally. Yeah, the early morning sessions, getting up at 4:15 in the morning to go swimming, it's a bit draining, and yeah, just watching that black line for 2 hours, yeah, it gets a bit boring, but yeah, you try and make it interesting, and yeah, my coach Craig Jones, he makes a really good job of keeping it interesting and keeping competitive. Yeah. You know,
triathlon's become a bit sexy though, hasn't it? It's probably been sexy for about a decade or more, really, and there's, as you say, there's plenty of opportunities around the world to, I guess, at the elite level, make a living out of it.
Yeah, I know around the 2000s there was really big televised races down at Glenelg, and big series around Australia, and I think that's dropped off a bit, but yeah, there's definitely lots of opportunities to race around the world, in Europe, Asia, America. Yeah, there's heaps of races around the world.
Well, you've had a bit of a peek. Tell us about some of those experiences, good and bad.
Yeah, well, in winter this year, in June, I was over in Spain for the World Duathlon Champs, and that was the first time I've been overseas, and I came second in the under-23 race.
Wow, great.
So that was...
What were those distances?
It was a 10k run, a 40k ride, and a 5k run. Okay. And that takes roughly close to 2 hours, and yeah, it was a really great experience. Yeah, I didn't expect to do so well, but yeah, that's then qualified me to go to Canada next year if I choose to go.
The one that always interests me is off the bike to run, or out of the water to ride. How do you practice for that? How do you prepare?
I guess the so-called brick sessions, they're really good for practicing.
What's a brick session?
Brick session is, say, you just go from swimming to riding, and then say you go back to swimming, and just practicing going back and forth.
Practicing that transition from one to the next?
So you just get used to that feeling during a race. Yeah, and then same with bike and run, especially for duathlon. Going from hard running to the bike, and your legs really feel it, and coming off the bike as well.
If I ever come to you and say I want to train for triathlon, I want you to hit me with a brick. Because I don't do brick training.
I won't be talking to you because I used to think that I used to love running, so the swimming I'd always come out last, and it takes me time to get my life jacket off. That was embarrassing, but then you go from that to the bike, but you pedal so hard to make up the time that you lost in the swim. And while I'm pedaling, I'm thinking, I've got you as soon as I get off this bike. But you get off the bike and your legs don't go.
Yeah, it's a really strange feeling if you haven't experienced it before. Yeah. It can feel like, your legs just aren't working. So yeah, you got to really manage yourself on the bike, make sure that you're not pushing too hard a gear, make sure that you keep legs spinning. I think that's what helps.
I think the interesting thing for you going forward too is, as you've mentioned earlier, is just choosing which sport's going to take you to where, which one's going to give you the most satisfaction, because I guess from a running perspective it's Commonwealth Games, Olympic Games, and then you've got to think about the world circuit as far as duathlon, triathlon.
Yeah, I think the negative part of duathlon is that it's not at an Olympics or Commonwealth Games, whereas running and triathlon are, so that's probably a big bonus for picking those sports. But yeah, if I did pick duathlon, there are lots of opportunities around the world as well. So.
Yeah. And what about swimming? How far are you off the mark as swimming? Your running times, looking at them, are pretty solid.
Yeah.
On the bike, you'd have to be good to be competing, standing on a podium at a world level. Swimming's obviously the one you need to work on. Has there been improvement in recent years? And if so, how much and what's needed?
Well, my first 1K swim time, which was probably about 3 years ago, was in the 16-minute mark. And then recently I've been able to get it down to in the 12 minutes, 12:47. So I think that started off, I was doing like 1-2 sessions a week and slowly picked that up, and obviously doing a lot more recently.
Wow, 4 minutes in 3, but does it need to come down?
It needs to stay in that front pack, probably needs to come down to the low 12s.
Okay, so you're around the mark.
So hopefully this summer I'll have, once you're on someone's feet, it's a lot easier, and hopefully get in that front pack.
I was usually on someone's feet, but it was usually the second last person in the race, which made things hard. Good on you, mate. That's exciting.
Daniel, we need to go to a break. Appreciate you coming in, mate.
Thank
Good
you
luck with
very
it. We'll follow with interest to see which way you go, and certainly you've picked some tough sports to stay in, mate. We need to get to a break. Stay with us.
Awesome.
Well done, buddy.